Hi, I'm Scott, owner and head chef at Fowl & Fodder Restaurant. We're a local foods restaurant, and we're here today at Walt Churchill's Market down in Maumee. We're going to prepare a really special dish that's great this time of year, where we use local ingredients, the best the season has to offer, and we're really excited to share it with you. What we're going to make for you today is a warm butternut squash salad. This squash salad has dried cranberries, bacon, tossed with some mixed greens, and a really nice apple cider vinaigrette. It's something you can take to your family events, and they're all ingredients you can find right here at the market. Let's get started, okay? All right, what I have here is butternut squash, and this is just a fantastic ingredient. When you roast it, it brings out the natural sugars in it. And the execution for this is really simple. We're going to take a vegetable peeler, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to peel this outside layer off. You don't have to get too close to the ends because we're going to cut those off before we dice these up. All right, so we have the squash. We'll take the ends off both of it. The easiest way to do this is to slice it right down the center. That way it has a flat surface to sit on. And these seeds and this pulp in here, you're going to want to scoop these out. Squash is one of those ingredients that everybody loves, but not everybody knows what to do with it. And I promise you this will really wow your guests. Okay, great. Now you want to cut these into about 1/2-inch cubes. And they need to be pretty even. That way they'll all cook evenly. One squash is enough to take to a party, and you'll have a good size for everybody there. Okay, so here's what it looks like. Nice cubes, plenty of color. And we're going to season these with just a little salt, fresh ground black cracked pepper, and then we're going to toss them with a little bit of brown sugar. What this is going to do is this is going to help caramelize the squash so you get some really pretty color on it when it comes out of the oven. Toss this around a little bit. And then some kind of good high heat cooking oil. I have walnut oil here. I like the flavor of it a lot, and it also can hold up to some heat. This goes out in a roasting pan. We're going to put it in the oven at 425 for about 25 minutes. Okay, next off we have to cook the bacon. We got Neiman Ranch bacon here. It's a nitrite-free bacon that's done with the animal's welfare in mind, and it's an incredible quality product. I'm going to use 3 slices. If you'd like to use more, by all means. Whenever you're cooking bacon, it's always best to keep it at a low temp and start it out in a cold pan. And if you're notorious for burning bacon, add a little bit of water to the pan when you're cooking it. It'll buy you a little bit of little wiggle room. Bacon goes in, don't overcrowd it. And we'll get that going. Okay, while the bacon's cooking, we're going to reduce down some apple cider. We've got McQueen's Orchard apple cider right here. And we're going to take a cup of this and reduce it down to a 1/2 cup. This will concentrate the flavors and really make that dressing pop. The easiest way to do this is in a small pot. You don't have to be exact with this. About a cup will do, and this will take about 10 minutes as well. So the base for this salad are some really nice mixed greens. Got some really nice organic spring mix here from the produce aisle. This is the best time of the year for this kind of lettuce. It tastes really good with some warm butternut squash on top of it. So here's our mixed greens. And to give it a little crunch and a little complexity, we're going to put some diced red onion on the salad as well. It's about a 1/2 cup or so of diced red onion. Adds a little color to the dish. Okay, so this is our reduced apple cider. This is the base for our dressing. Making a dressing from scratch is so simple. You just have to follow a few key points to make sure it turns out the way you want it. This is Dijon mustard. This is going to help hold the dressing all together. We like to sweeten it up a little bit, and we love maple syrup. So we're going to put a little bit of Ohio maple syrup in here. And then to give it a little acidity, we got some Bragg's apple cider vinegar. Grab a whisk. Get these ingredients incorporated, and then we're going to slowly add our oil to it. I'm going to use that same walnut oil we just used on the squash. There we go. And now we just need to season it with a little salt and pepper. You can do this to taste. We'll put about a teaspoon of salt in this much, about a half teaspoon of black pepper. This will keep for a couple weeks in your fridge, so you can make extra. We have some extra here. And if you're like me at home, do this in the blender. It turns out great. Let's take a peek at our squash. Sometimes it's best about halfway through the cooking process to give this a quick little stir. This will prevent it from burning. You can tell this is starting to get done. We'll give it just a couple more minutes, get a little color on the bottom of it, and it'll be ready to go. Isn't that pretty? We're going to take this out. We're going to dice this up. And don't waste that good bacon fat. We'll put a little bit in here for good measure. It's okay, when you're eating greens, you're allowed to do this. You can wait till this cools a little bit. You want it to be warm though, because this is going to help the flavors all blend together. So we have our diced bacon. Here's some of those beautiful dried cranberries that we picked up at Walt Churchill's. Those go in. And then let's check on the star of the show, the butternut squash. So here's our warm squash. This is going to go ahead and get in the bowl with the cranberries and our Neiman Ranch bacon. Look at the color, isn't that pretty? Those colors just remind me of fall. If you're making this for the next day or to take to work with you, go ahead and keep this separate. And when you get where you're going, you can heat it up for a few seconds in the microwave before putting it on top of the lettuce. You don't want to do this too early because the squash will get cold and the lettuce will wilt. Look at that. Doesn't that pop? And then the finishing touch, our apple cider vinaigrette. Drizzle this across the top or serve it on the side. And there you go. Simple, easy, delicious butternut squash salad. It's really, really good. You're bringing some wine to the party too. We got a light, crisp white wine, like a Chenin Blanc or a Pinot Grigio. Well, from Walt Churchill's Market and Fallon Fodder Restaurant, thanks for joining us today.